and it was finally released, the animation Predator Killer of Killers, on the Hulu streaming. And I obviously could not forget to check this new production. After all, it is part of the new chronology of Predator movies directed by the director Dan Trachtenberg, that in 2022 released the movie Prey, which shows the first arrival of a predator creature on planet Earth. And this director really took the job of being the guy behind the Predator franchise in cinema, because this year he will also release the new movie Predator Badlands, movie that will come out in the end of the year. And I have already made a comment to the trailer in this channel. And Predator Killer of Killers is actually an anthology of stories with basically 3 movies in one about 3 different warriors from different times that have faced the creature Yautja, the original name of the Predator creature, in the age of the Vikings, in the age of the samurais, and also in the World War II, a concept that I always thought it would be nice for producers to create in Predator movies, like Predator meeting cowboys in the Western, or Predators meeting pirates, I don't know. And I can gladly say, my friends, that this animation is excellent. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So this video will be divided in 2 parts. The first minutes will be a non-spoiler review, and then after I'm gonna talk about the spoilers of this movie, because it is very important to discuss some things regarding the mythology of the Predator, but I'll let you know when that comes. And what I most enjoyed about Predator Killer of Killers is how the concept of the Predator can be used for many different contexts. In the first story, which is named The Shield, you have the Viking warrior Ursa and a group of warriors after some personal revenge, and right off the bat it is revealed that she's a very lethal fighter. It is established that she is capable of facing any enemy, and this leads us to a very exciting confrontation with a predator, which will be the most lethal warrior that she will face. Then in the second story, which is titled The Sword, you have actually 2 brother samurais that also display a very skillful ability to fight, and nothing better than a predator to challenge their fighting skills to the maximum. And this is displayed very well in the third story, which is titled The Bullet, with the fighter pilot John Torres, a kind of a maverick of the Second World War, and he has to fight a predator in a spacecraft that also has great abilities as a pilot. The style of animation is very similar to the Spider-Man in the Multiverse movies, which I thought it was pretty cool. But what I liked the most is the montage of certain scenes, especially in the first story of the Viking woman, where we have this long take of her entering a battle and facing many enemies one after the other, with her POV just slashing these guys all around. So cool, and get your heart pumping right in the beginning. By the way, the animation is worth watching just for that scene alone, in my opinion. And this also plays into the choreography of these fighting scenes, which I always say that is the most important thing in action movies, no matter if they are animations or not. And here in this movie, these choreographies in the fight sequences are absolutely fantastic. It's pretty clear that the directors really paid attention to the details of how to use the predator creature in these fight sequences in ways that we haven't seen before. And this happens in long takes like the one I just mentioned, but also in many scenes of the third story, in the air battle sequences. We also have different styles of predator creatures in the 3 stories. We have one with a weapon that has a sound wave, another has a chain with a spear that unfolds itself, and in the third one we have a predator that is a fighter pilot. And this is all I can say without giving too many spoilers. If you haven't watched yet, please go, because if you are a fan of the franchise, this is an absolutely must-see. Now going to the spoiler section, because we need to talk about some details of the Predator mythology, so you have been warned. Of course that this is not just an anthology of 3 different stories, but the 3 stories lead to one final ending that has the 3 characters together, and then we realize that the shield, the sword, and the bullet are actually weapons that they will receive in an arena battle that they are taken in the end. Exactly, so these 3 characters are abducted and frozen in cryogenic chambers during many years to be taken to these arena planets of the predators and fight as gladiators in it. And the victorious fighter will have the privilege of fighting the king predator, a big muscled predator that is behind this whole event. And I thought it was a pretty cool expansion of the lore, especially because it was well executed. But at the same time, I also think that it takes a little bit of the mystic and the mystery element of the predator creature. So there are some drawbacks to it as well. But nevertheless, it is an expansion that makes sense. Another great detail is that this story connects directly with the first movie in the saga, Prey, especially by showing that the gun that is given to John Torres in the gladiatorial battle is the same one that was given to Naru in the movie Prey when she fought those Spanish soldiers. And this weapon belongs to a certain Rafael Andolini, and if you are a great fan of the Predator lore, you know that this weapon will also be passed to the detective Harrigan in Predator 2 many years later. And this connection is very well established because at the end we have a post-credit scene showing that Naru is also frozen cryogenically because she was probably abducted after the events of the movie Prey. So apparently one of the Predator assets is to freeze these warriors that beat some of their predator kind and take them into these gladiatorial planets to see which one is the fiercest fighter of them. This can lead to very interesting possibilities like a Prey sequel with Naru in a different time, but also a return of probably, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch. I don't doubt anything at this point. Another thing that is important to mention is that in the trailer of Predator Badlands, we had some hints that we're gonna have a crossover between Predator and Alien, especially by the character of Elle Fanning. And in this animation, we also have probably two different connections with the Alien franchise. One of them is that the Predator King has these huge braids that the director Dan Trachtenberg recently confirmed that they could be tails of the xenomorph, which means tails of aliens that he took during battles. And I thought the same thing when I saw them in the movie for the first time. So this is very cool. Another connection that is not exactly part of the plot is the fact that we have the actor Michael Biehn playing one of the voices of the World War fighter pilot characters. So yes, Michael Biehn, the Hicks of Aliens, the Kyle Reese of Terminator, which makes him the second actor in the history of movies to be part of the three classic sci-fi franchises: Predator, Aliens, and of course Terminator. Second, of course, to the wonderful and late Bill Paxton. And I loved this addition to the cast, especially because I love Michael Biehn, but because I also listen to his podcast every week. Yes, Michael Biehn has a podcast nowadays where he talks about the behind the scenes of his movies. So it's pretty awesome and I love it. And this is it, Predator Killer of Killers. What did you think? Did you like it? Have you watched it yet? Please comment below. And also, if you are liking the content of Trashing with Gus, don't forget to leave your beloved like and your wonderful subscription so we can keep talking about Predator, Aliens, and all the trashiness that we love, alright? See you in the next trashing video, and bye-bye!